Ancestral Recall.
Yeah.
I like the title.
Yeah, the title's
so
dope.
I'm
I
like,
can't wait for you to hear it. So this year we've been working on a new record. March 22nd marks the date of the release. The record is called Ancestral Recall, and it's a record that was designed with the intention to decolonialize sound. A lot of the way that music is disseminated to us historically is, there are colonial underpinnings to that, right? The music also can be hyper-racialized. Like if I ask you to visualize a salsalero, a Western classical musician and a hip-hop musician, you see very different people. And to think that that is not something that's been designed leaves you at a huge disadvantage. And this is a generation that is trying to take the differences between people and to stop putting value distinctions on them, and to use the marriage of all of those differences to create a tapestry that shows how beautiful this place actually can be. And so one of the ways that we look to do that is by showing that, like when we speak about music that has a higher melodic and harmonic content is usually seen as like upper echelonian, and the sophisticated music.
Yeah.
The music that has a rhythmic bass is usually seen as, pejorative and belittling words like street or tribal are applied to music that essentially comes from browner spaces, right? So part of the intention behind what it is that we're trying to do musically is to actually show musically, sonically, that the things that most people conjecture do not exist in rhythmic music actually do exist. So for instance, the harmony in the drums. Like you and I both know when we listen to, if I'm listening to Baba Tunde play, I'm listening to those choruses of drums, that may as well be an orchestra in terms of the movements and things that are happening. But most people, when they're listening to that, they can't turn off whatever that cognitive dissonance that says, well, it's just some people beating on something. They can't turn that thing off because they've been conditioned to believe that that music fits in a certain space and other music fits in another space.
And
right?
and they don't want to explore what they feel.
Right.
When they hear
that.
a sound.
Right, exactly. No, there's a wall being put up to actually stop you from actually fully emoting. So what we wanted to do was to create a tapestry, a musical environment that's layered with all of these stories and vignettes and stories within stories musically that actually show the harmony, counterpoint, and melody in rhythm. So that all of those arguments that actually create that dividing line between valuable and not valuable, some people may look at that as black and white, that those lines actually don't exist, and that the core of the music that we call jazz, like I don't like to use this word so much, this is my personal preference, but that music, a lot of times what people say from the beginning is that jazz is West African rhythm and European harmony. But this creates an idea that there's no harmony in Africa. Firstly, right? Now I understand that as a trope, that was something that was specifically done to make sure that European descent Americans viewed the music as valid in a moment where they were jockeying to get jazz to be seen as America's classical music. So there had to be an entry point for someone else for it to be seen as valid. Our point is it's valid because it's valid, and all of the things that you're conjecturing come from other spaces. If I take you to Bamako right now, you certainly will hear the blues. So those things existed before the American experiment, and we needed to make a document that codifies that and creates a new code for that shows that not only is that a part of the actual history of this music, but that the future of this music will not be a revisionist one where we say that things that are actual histories did not exist. So yeah, so it shows that this music has the ability to heal people. It shows that this music is about a community being built, but that first has to happen by breaking down the sort of colonial value system that we've superimposed on sound.
And that's what Ancestral Recall is addressing.
Yes, ma'am.
You're awesome as usual.
We are awesome. You're awesome. I'm so grateful for you. I can't wait to get back to South Africa, and so we can kick it again.
Yes, we will. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
So.